The market does not wait, the charts do not lie, and every second that passes carries the weight of opportunity or regret. You step into trading believing in control, believing in skill, and yet almost immediately, impatience whispers in your ear. The truth is harsh. Most traders fail not because they lack knowledge, not because the market is unfair, but because they act before they are ready. Patience is not a virtue in trading. It is survival. It is the ability to sit through uncertainty, to watch your plan unfold without interference, to accept that the perfect moment may not come when your mind demands it. Every trade you enter too early, every decision made from anxiety rather than strategy, chips away at your potential. The charts will punish the hasty. The market rewards the observant. And observation, true observation, is only possible when your mind is still, when you resist the urge to jump at every flicker of price movement. You feel the tension in your hands, the quickening of your pulse, the subtle pull of fear and desire. It is in these moments that patience is tested. Not in theory, not in books, but in the quiet, electric space between thought and action. Sitting still, waiting, watching. This is the crucible of the trader. The temptation to act, to react, to assert control is relentless. Yet every time you surrender to it, the market teaches its lesson. Losses compound, confidence erodes, doubt festers, and still the patient observer sees differently. They see opportunity as it aligns with their plan, not as it tempts their impulses. Patience is not inactivity. It is calculated awareness. It is the recognition that time is a tool and timing is everything. You cannot rush understanding. You cannot force clarity. You can only wait, measure, adjust, and wait again. The market's rhythm is not yours to command, but yours to follow. And in following, truly following, patience becomes your ally, your shield, your edge. Waiting is heavier than action. Every tick of the price feels like a test, every small movement a provocation. Anxiety coils in your chest, a quiet but insistent pressure reminding you of the trades you could have taken, the profits slipping through your fingers. Fear of missing out gnaws at your focus, while desire urges you to act, to do something, anything, just to feel control. Yet the patient trader learns that action without alignment is damage. Impulses are seductive, disguised as opportunity, promising instant relief, instant reward, instant validation. But the market does not respond to impulse. It responds to clarity, to timing, to discipline. In the space between signal and action, you confront yourself. The tension in your hands, the racing of your heart, the unspoken questions that linger in your mind. Can I wait? Do I trust my plan? Or will I surrender to the noise, the temptation, the fleeting thrill of movement? Patience is the act of standing firm amid uncertainty, of observing without attachment, of feeling the urge and letting it pass. It is not passive. It is the most active form of discipline, a conscious engagement with reality rather than with hope or fear. Every moment you resist the urge to trade prematurely, you strengthen a skill few ever master. You learn to see the market without distortion, to separate signal from distraction, to recognize opportunity when it aligns with reason, not emotion. And in that quiet tension, in the subtle awareness of your own impulses, patience becomes tangible. It is felt in the steadiness of your hands, the calm of your mind, the measured rhythm of your breathing. This is the heartbeat of successful trading, waiting with intention, resisting the seductive noise of impatience, trusting the process, trusting yourself. The ego is the quiet saboteur. It hides behind knowledge, behind confidence, behind the illusion of control. You tell yourself you're prepared, that you understand the market, that patience is your ally, but the ego whispers differently. It craves affirmation, immediate results, proof that you are right. It pressures you to act, to assert dominance over the market, to prove skill rather than practice restraint. Every impulsive trade is the ego's victory, every premature entry a confirmation that patience is negotiable. The patient trader recognizes this internal adversary, naming it not as weakness but as reality. The market does not care about your pride. It does not reward bravado. It punishes the moment the ego overrides judgment. Fear, desire, and pride converge, disguising themselves as opportunity, daring you to override your plan, daring you to believe that speed matters more than precision. And yet, awareness changes everything. Awareness exposes the patterns, the automatic reactions, the habitual surrender to self-importance. The trader who sees the ego in action can pause, can breathe, can return to strategy. They understand that patience is not about waiting. It is about surrendering the illusion of control, about accepting that the market's rhythm surpasses personal ambition. Every successful trade entered with calm observation, every loss endured without regret, is a small victory over the ego. Slowly, inexorably, the patient trader reshapes their mind, replacing impulsive certainty with measured judgment, transforming desire into discipline, and turning the subtle tension of internal conflict into the foundation of skill. This is the crucible where skill and character meet. Without confronting the ego, patience is theoretical, fragile, incomplete. With it, patience becomes mastery. Patience is not born, it is forged. It is not a virtue you stumble upon in moments of calm. It is a skill owned through practice, through repetition, through disciplined confrontation with uncertainty. You cannot will it into existence, you can only cultivate it. In trading, this means observing without acting, measuring without judgment, waiting without surrendering to impulse. Each chart, each candle, each movement becomes a lesson in restraint, a mirror reflecting your readiness or your weakness. To train patience, you do not meditate on ideal outcomes. You do not fantasize about perfect trades. You practice waiting in real time, with real stakes, with real consequences. You learn to recognize the subtle stirrings of impatience, the tightening of your chest, the itch in your fingers, the racing of your mind, and respond not with action, but with awareness. Journaling, structured plans, checklists, defined entry and exit rules, these are tools, not crutches. They anchor your focus, providing the framework in which patience can operate. But the essence is internal, the ability to tolerate tension, to hold space for uncertainty, to understand that every premature move is a lesson lost. Patience in trading is intimate, it is personal. It is the quiet mastery of self, the conscious choice to prioritize alignment over reaction, principle over desire, observation over impulse. With practice, waiting becomes natural, timing becomes instinct, and clarity emerges not from hope, but from the relentless discipline of watching, learning, and restraining. This is the skill few recognize, fewer still cultivate, yet it is the invisible edge separating those who survive the market from those who merely participate. Patience is not waiting for luck, it is the measured, deliberate engagement with reality, the ongoing dialogue between mind, market, and self. It is a skill you can sharpen, a tool you can wield, a power you can own. Patience without direction is aimless. Discipline without vision is futile. To wield patience effectively, you must pair it with strategy, with a plan that extends beyond the moment, beyond the fleeting fluctuations of price. The long-term trader understands that each trade is a single note in a symphony of decisions, that profit is a product of consistency, not speed. Strategy gives structure to patience. Clear entry rules, defined exits, risk management, position sizing. These are not arbitrary restrictions. They are instruments for alignment, tools that allow patience to operate without friction. And vision is what sustains it. You see not only the trade before you, but the trajectory of your account, the rhythm of the market, the unfolding of opportunity over weeks, months, years. Impatience thrives on short-sightedness, on the temptation to convert every signal into action, on the craving for instant affirmation. Vision counters this, reminding you that your edge is cumulative, that the small waits, the quiet observations, the disciplined adherence to plan compound into advantage over time. Losses become lessons, wins become benchmarks, and the patient trader learns to move with the market rather than against it. Waiting is not inactivity, it is intentional participation. It is choosing the right moment, not the most immediate one. It is embracing the uncertainty of timing while maintaining certainty in method. Every chart you analyze with discipline, every signal you respect rather than chase, reinforces the bridge between patience and performance. Long-term success is rarely dramatic. It is the quiet accumulation of skill, the relentless adherence to process, the ability to endure discomfort without capitulation. Patience, coupled with strategy and vision, becomes the framework upon which mastery is built. It transforms hesitation into preparation, tension into clarity, and waiting into an active force shaping your results. Failure is not the enemy of patience, it is its teacher. Every loss, every missed opportunity, every trade entered too early or exited too late carries a lesson that impatience would never allow you to learn. The impatient trader blames the market, blames luck, blames circumstance, yet fails to see the subtle signals that each experience offers. The patient trader, however, sees differently. They see the patterns in mistakes, the predictable consequences of action taken in haste, the invisible threads connecting emotion, decision, and outcome. Waiting becomes a process of refinement, each moment of restraint and investment in understanding. You come to recognize that what feels like stagnation is often preparation, that the silence between trades is not emptiness, but accumulation of insight. The market unfolds regardless of desire, and only those who respect its timing benefit from it. Patience teaches endurance, humility, and observation. It teaches that opportunity is rarely urgent, it is precise. Every moment spent waiting, every heartbeat resisted, every impulse restrained adds clarity to judgment. The lessons of failure are magnified when met with patience. They become guidance, not punishment. And through this lens, trading transforms from a chaotic contest of reaction into a disciplined practice of timing, awareness, and control. The patient trader understands that mastery is measured not by the immediacy of wins, but by the ability to endure the necessary waits, to learn from setbacks, and to act decisively only when alignment occurs. In this space between impulse and action, between error and insight, patience is not passive. It is the engine driving growth, the foundation upon which real trading skill is built, the quiet force that turns failure into clarity. Patience is freedom, not the freedom to act recklessly, not the freedom to chase every fluctuation, but the freedom to remain sovereign over your mind, to command your impulses, to decide with clarity rather than reaction. The trader who masters patience discovers that the market's turbulence cannot disturb internal calm, that the rush of emotion cannot dictate action, that true power lies in measured response. Each moment of restraint, each deliberate pause, reinforces the autonomy of thought, the discipline of judgment, the quiet confidence that comes not from outcomes, but from process. To wait is to choose, to observe is to understand, to resist is to gain control. The patient trader moves with the market, not against it, responding not to fear or greed, but to opportunity as it aligns with strategy. In this mastery of self, in this deliberate engagement with reality, the trader finds liberation, the freedom to act when the time is right, to refrain when it is not, to navigate chaos without surrendering to it. Patience is no longer a struggle. It is an extension of insight, a reflection of discipline, a tangible skill that transforms hesitation into power, tension into focus, uncertainty into clarity. And in this space, the mind is calm, the hands are steady, the heart is aligned. This is not theory. This is the essence of trading mastery. This is the edge few recognize, fewer still cultivate, yet it is the foundation upon which all consistent success is built. The patient trader is not a victim of the market. They are its observer, its student, its disciplined participant. In the quiet command of timing, in the deliberate orchestration of action, patience becomes freedom, mastery, and the ultimate expression of control. Patience is not the absence of action, it is the presence of mastery. It is the calm in the storm, the stillness in motion, the clarity in confusion. Every trader faces moments of doubt, moments when the market tempts with urgency, moments when an impulse whispers louder than reason. Yet those who cultivate patience discover a different rhythm, a rhythm where observation replaces reaction, where discipline replaces desire, where timing replaces haste. It is in these moments, silent but charged with awareness, that true skill emerges. The charts may move, the market may shift, the world may demand immediate response, but the patient trader waits. They observe, they learn, they act only when alignment is complete, when readiness meets opportunity, when clarity meets courage. And in this deliberate engagement, waiting becomes power, tension becomes insight, hesitation becomes advantage. Patience transforms trading from chaos into craft, from reaction into strategy, from fear into freedom. The journey is not easy. It is not comfortable. It requires confrontation with ego, endurance through uncertainty, and unwavering trust in process. Yet it is the path to mastery, the path to consistent results, the path to liberation from the impulses that trap so many. And as the patient trader steps into this rhythm, the market becomes a teacher, the charts become a guide, and every moment of deliberate restraint becomes a victory in itself. This is patience as a skill, patience as power, patience as freedom. and it is the edge that separates those who merely participate from those who truly master the market. Appreciate your time here. These moments are for observing yourself, not the market. A like or subscribe is welcome if you feel it, but don't rush. Keep this awareness with you and let it guide your mind, your emotions, and your decisions.